Today we're making a buffalo chicken dip, which is very similar to a beer dip, not only in party popularity, but in calories. Now the commonly found recipe for buffalo chicken dip is going to give you like 460 calories per serving. So today we are going to give your typical buffalo chicken dip a well-deserved makeover, bringing it all the way down to 180 calories per serving with all of the flavor that you would expect to find in this awesome party favorite. We're going to start with our cottage cheese. Now here I have a cup of non-fat cottage cheese. Typically, if I was going to eat cottage cheese, I would probably eat a low-fat version, but because I'm using it in a dip and because I'm going to be getting all kinds of flavor from different areas, I went with a non-fat version because if I can cut calories someplace, I'm going to. So we are going to mix this cottage cheese with an ounce of feta cheese and a tablespoon of dry ranch dressing. So this is going to be compatible in that normal recipe with the cup of ranch dressing that you're supposed to use. So I'm going to grab a spoon and get this all in my mini food processor. So I'm going to dump this in. Now if you don't have a mini food processor, which this is one of my little kitchen tools that I totally love, you could use a regular blender or a regular food processor. But the idea is that we want to get rid of all the chunks of the cottage cheese and get it nice and smooth, as well as the feta. So we don't want to see any chunks of feta or cottage cheese in this in the end. All right. I'm going to grab the attachments. So you can see this is nice and smooth and ready for us to get into our mini crock pot. If you don't have one of these, you could also put it in a microwave safe bowl and just keep putting it in the microwave for about 30 seconds at a time and heating it in the end. But I am going to mix in my little crock pot from the beginning because then I can just plug it in and it'll stay warm the entire time that the company's over while they're eating the dip. And that's probably more commonly found. I mean, if you've eaten this dip before at a party, that's probably how you've eaten it. So we will start with it that way from the beginning. Okay. So like I said, we're going to give this dip a makeover, and we started with the cottage cheese, and the second part of the dip is, so it's cream cheese and ranch dressing. Those are your two commonly found like binders of all of this stuff in here. And like I said, cottage cheese here. The second thing that we're going to be using is my oh so favorite ingredient. I use it in so many recipes, Chobani. So we're using the non-fat version, and we're going to put a cup of this in with the cottage cheese blend. That was cottage cheese, feta cheese, and the ranch dressing. So we have a nice cup of Chobani. We'll get that in here. The rest of the ingredients are very simple. We are using a canned chicken. When I work with canned chicken, I like to rinse it off in the sink in a colander with cold water and then squish it and pat it with a paper towel to get all of the juice and the moisture and everything out of it. We also do have cheddar cheese, but I used a half of a cup of reduced fat sharp cheddar so I can get very bold flavor from it without getting a lot of calories. And because of the feta and the other ingredients that are in here, we don't need a lot of cheese, just enough so you get the feeling that you're expecting from a common dip. I'm using Louisiana hot sauce. This is completely a personal matter. If you like very spicy food, you could go up to 3/4 of a cup. If you like it a little bit more mild, I'm going to use a half a cup. Last thing we're mixing in is a little bit of salt and pepper. We'll give it a stir, and then we'll put it onto our heat so we can get it nice and mixed together. It smells excellent immediately, even before you get it on the crock pot, because that hot sauce is just such a common scent to people. It reminds you of buffalo wings and buffalo dips, and so immediately your taste buds are so excited to try this. So we will turn this on the heat, Get it just a little bit warm, and then I would say serve it with, of course, celery, because that's something that you're always going to see with a buffalo dip or a buffalo wing. And then maybe a nice crusty bread or a pumpernickel bread, something really, really good, full flavored, full bodied, because this is a hot, spicy dip with a lot of attitude on its own, so why not serve it with something that also has attitude? You can find some great whole grain crackers that are going to be incredibly healthy and good for you, as well as very complimentary to this awesome buffalo chicken dip, which got a great makeover, and you can enjoy it at your next party. Thanks.